Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, we're joined by hip-hop artist MZ Coxx. MZ has been doing this for a while. She's got a lot of good songs out there, and she didn't start off necessarily wanting to do hip-hop. She wanted to be a judge, a lawyer, or a pediatrician. So we'll be talking to her about everything that she's up to and how she got to this point. So MZ Coxx, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yes. What's up? Well, it's yours truly, Miss Coxx. I am an artist, an actress. I write music. I host. I do some of everything, actually. And I am from East Atlanta.
Okay, well, let's start off first of all, talking about your music. How did you get into music, and let the listeners know what kind of genre you feel your music is.
So I wrote my first verse when I was 10 years old, but I didn't really start seriously performing until later on. When I decided to take it seriously, that was when I went on my first tour. I was about 16 years old. And I've been going crazy ever since, actually pursuing music for almost a decade. I knew that I had a passion for music just because I was exposed to so many different types of music through my parents. They had me listening to like country, jazz, blues, hip hop, R&B. So that kind of was already embedded in me from a young child in that regards. And then I've always been like a writer, even in school. English was my favorite subject outside of math. So I was always writing. It came kind of natural to me to just be able to write a story and write a concept and write music from there.
So speaking of that, at first you wanted to be a judge, a lawyer, or a pediatrician. So
I did.
how did you transition from wanting to do that to transition into music?
I think, like when you're younger, you don't necessarily, you really don't know. You kind of just are guessing and taking the stab at what you feel like your full potential will possibly be. So I think my transition from doing that came after me being able to, like I said, be in a studio, record, write a verse and stuff like that. And that was when I found a new love that I can like see myself actually doing. A lawyer and then a judge, just because I always like, oh, I want to be a judge. I want to help people. I've always been a person that like felt like I could help people, and then even pediatrician, they help people as well, kids. But I realized that I enjoy kids, but not enough to be a pediatrician.
Okay, well, you're also an actor. So
Yes.
tell us about that. Tell us about some stuff you've been in.
So far I've been in 4 movies. They're all out on Tubi, Amazon, and Peacock. The first movie is called Hot Girls. The second movie is called For the Gram. After that, we have Reques, and then more recently we have Make It Rain. All of those movies, like I said, are on those streaming platforms. Reques has Columbus Short in there. I've been able to work with Lil Scrappy, Bangladesh, Sky Keaton, Roscoe Dash, Michael Montana. I feel like I'm forgetting some people, but those are the people that I can list right now at the top of my head that I've actually worked with.
Well, you've also done a song with Lil Durk, correct?
I did. Headboard is out now on all platforms, featuring Lil Durk. Is definitely a certified baby maker for sure. And it gives you that real, I feel good. It's a bedroom song. But it's a good song. I love that record.
Yeah, so what was it like making that record with Lil Durk?
It kind of fell into my lap, honestly. I was working with a promoter who had ties and connections to, getting to he basically already had like a lot of situations going on in regards to different records to get on, and he was like, hey, I have this opportunity for you. I think it'll be a great opportunity for you to get on this song. So I heard a couple different songs, and when I heard that one, I fell in love with it, and I was like, oh, this gonna be the one. Got on it, and now it's doing what it's doing now to this day. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet Dirk while the recording process was taking place, but hopefully eventually one day maybe we'll be able to perform together and rock out.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about some of your biggest musical influences. Who influences you to do what you do?
My biggest influences in this game, for sure, I'm gonna say is Missy Elliott. I always say Missy, like that's my number one. Eve would be a close second. Lil Kim and Moni Love, as far as like the older legendary women in the game that have definitely paved the way. I would say that those women are just, undeniably talented.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about, your latest project or any upcoming projects that we should be aware of and what inspired them and stuff like that.
So outside of Headboard, the record that we're pushing right now is called Go Ahead. And it's definitely a club banger. It's a fun record. It's definitely gonna get everybody up, dancing and moving. The ladies are gonna want to twerk. The men are gonna want it. They're gonna enjoy the song just because who doesn't like having pretty women, up dancing and vibing and having a good time. But like I said, it also has a bop to it. So I feel like the men could relate to it and have a good time as well. Outside of that, I am on my last leg of my first promo tour. The last date is actually December 21st, and then we're gonna regroup for a few weeks and then come back the top of January 10th, with the Coldest Winter Ever tour. So I'll be coming to a city near you for sure. I'm also in the works of a mixtape and my EP called Three Piece coming out at the top of the year. So we working.
Yep, it definitely sounds like it. And so listeners can keep up with everything that you're up to. Give out your contact info.
Y'all can follow me everywhere at Ms. Coxx. That's MZCOXX. Again, that's MZCOXX. Y'all can go to my website for tour dates, exclusive merch, all things Ms. Coxx. Anything that you may not see on my social medias, you can subscribe to my website. Put your email in. We'll send you direct blast. We'll send you music before everything drops and all of that. That's MissCoxx.com, MZCOXX.com.
All right. So close us out with some final thoughts. Maybe if there was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
My final thoughts that I would have for the listeners, I'm gonna still say the same thing. Is gonna be consistent. Make sure that you are staying true to yourself. And if you feel like you're getting too overly consumed with the outside noise, make sure you take those moments to yourself and regroup, regain your focus, and make sure that you are staying steadfast and keeping the tunnel vision to the task at hand.
All right, there she is, Miss Coxx.
And that's
MZ.
MZCOXX. Again, that's MZCOXX triple X if you're nasty. Oh yeah, it's Coxx time.
That's right, exactly. So listeners, make sure you follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. Check out Miss Cox's music.
Yes.
Jump on your favorite podcast app, follow the show, leave us a review, share it.
Yes.
Any guest or suggestion topics? Curtis Jackson 1978 at att.net is the place to send them.
Okay.
Thank you for listening and supporting the show. And Miss Coxx, thank you for all that you do, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you and allowing me to come to your platform.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.